One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to Zanis News. I'm your presenter, Sarah Miti, and our sign language caster is Neha Mumbi. Top stories in the news. Mozambican President Nyusi graces trade fair. Smart Zambia connects Kazungula to internet. 6.5 million kwacha dispersed to cooperatives in Kasama. And veteran freedom fighter advises Zambians to remain united. The news in detail. Mozambican President Filipe Nyusi has officially opened this year's 58th Zambia International Trade Fair, ZITF, in Ndola on the Copperbelt province, with a call for Zambia and Mozambique to enhance collaboration in many areas of cooperation, such as energy and agriculture. Mr. Nyusi says Mozambique will continue to strengthen its bilateral relations with Zambia in order to promote and unlock economic potential for the two countries to be able to better people's livelihoods. President Hakainde Hichilema witnessed the event. We have a report by Sandy Walia.
International trade shows are crucial for unlocking businesses to spur economic growth as they provide valuable networking opportunities. For this reason, Zambia holds its annual International Trade Fair to accelerate economic activities. Mozambican President Filipe Nyusi has officially opened the 58th Zambia International Trade Fair in Ndola today.
I am quite delighted to attend this 58th edition of the Zambia International Trade Fair, held under the theme Unlocking the Economic Potential Through Collaboration and a Partnership, together with the President of the Republic of Zambia, my brother and friend Hakainde Hichilema, to whom I extend greetings as well as his delegation and the business people present here. I also greet the government authorities for promoting and convening this so opportune and much necessary trade fair in order to revive networking among business people from different nations by providing them with the privileged opportunity to know the economic potential of Zambia. Indeed, as we visit the trade fair, we feel the beat of the Zambian economy and the vast potential it is posed in our region. I am confident that the proximity of our business people, which will be enabled by this fair, is preview of the continuous deepening and the consolidation of our trade relations to be realized through the flow of foreign trade goods and to the extent of mutual knowledge. Therefore, we believe that such should be the trend for the future, which goes beyond our mere historic legacy in the relationship triggered by the port and the rail services of Mozambique that provide Zambia with access to the Indian Ocean and to the Asia market. For this reason, a new page comprising economic activities in areas such as agriculture, industry, construction, infrastructure, tourism, and the other services is open.
Hakainde Hichilema praised Mr. Nyusi for accepting to grace the prestigious Zambia International Trade Fair and underscored his government's commitment to restore economic development.
Let me also simply indicate that the theme is appropriate this year, very appropriate, unlocking economic potential through collaboration and partnership. Mr. President, Your Excellency, and the Mozambican delegation, this government of the UPND and its partners took over 2 years, 10 months ago. 2 years, 10 months ago. And since we took public office, our focus has been to basically restore the rule of law. But really, that restoration of the rule of law is to create a base, a platform for the most important thing that we're doing, economic reconstruction for social support. Very, very, very focused on that agenda, Mr. President, Your Excellency, to restore the country's economic expansion, economic growth, so we can create jobs. We can create jobs for our youthful population. We can support free education. We can support enhanced CDF. We can support the sick, the old, the differently abled. That is the agenda, Mr. President.
Zambia International Trade Fair chairperson Elizabeth Nkumbula said trade exhibitions are a catalyst for unlocking the economy.
Therefore, trade fairs must be supported, encouraged, and promoted as a vital instrument to show available products and services that enterprises in all countries represented at this fair can offer.
Earlier, the two heads of state toured some selected stands in line with the theme of unlocking economic potential through collaboration and partnerships. This year's 58th exhibition is expected to spur economic activities in the country and beyond. Sandra for Zanis in Ndola, Copperbelt Province.
Vice President Mwanawasa has reiterated the importance of education and has further assured that government will continue to support the free education policy. The Vice President was speaking in Northwestern Province during the commemoration of the Day of the African Child, which has been localized in Chief Chibuika's chiefdom in a bid to promote children's rights to education. We have details in the following report by Florence Mwisa.
The Day of the African Child is commemorated annually to raise awareness about children's rights and the challenges they face globally, such as lack of access to education. This year's Day of the African Child has been graced by Vice President Mwanawasa.
The government of the Republic of Zambia, under the leadership of the President, His Excellency Dr. Chava, remains committed to the goal of achieving universal access to education, espoused by the 8th National Development Plan and Vision 2030. Our policy on the provision of free education has become a reality and is beginning to bear fruit. Government is also providing grants to schools. I'm sure the PO here agrees with me, every quarter. And through the Constituent Development Fund, most of the schools in the district have been provided with free desks. The new donor administration has also employed over 700 new teachers in the Mbo district. All of this is aimed at providing quality teaching and learning of our children. This year, the education curriculum has been reviewed to ensure that it provides life-relevant knowledge and skills and promotes the application of national values and principles. This is put in place and will start by 2025.
Area Member of Parliament Newton Samakai has assured school-going children of receiving the necessary support.
I just want to say one thing about our children. When we are going through the stands, they are doing incredible things. And we want to urge our teachers to keep on imparting that relevant knowledge that our children need. Like the Vice President has said, you'll be given the support, the necessary support from all of us.
Chief Chibuika has given a vote of thanks through his representative.
We are more than ready to work with the system to ensure that what has been proposed and can be supported is indeed implemented. So we are encouraged further by your agreeing that it is not the distance that can hinder progress. It is the mindset. When you are ready, definitely, you can do anything.
At the same event, the Vice President toured the stands and donated books to school-going children. For Zanis, I'm Florence Mwisa in Mbo District, Northwestern Province.
Smart Zambia Institute National Coordinator Percy Chinyama says the newly launched access to internet connectivity at the Kazungula one-stop border post is aimed at enhancing operations at the facility. Mr. Chinyama says similar connectivity will be replicated in all border posts across the country.
Smart Zambia says it plans to implement online internet connectivity to all border points across the country. The access to connectivity for both government institutions and citizens using the borders will enhance cooperations at all entry and exit points. So far, Smart Zambia has already implemented this kind of connectivity at Kazungula one-stop border post in Southern Province, as highlighted by its National Coordinator, Percy Chinyama.
What we're going to implement here, which is access to connectivity for both government institutions and the citizens that are using this border. That connectivity must be replicated in the other borders so that we have a uniform kind of border management system across the country. This is in line with the presidential directives that we've been given to ensure that there is a level of digitization in the borders that will reduce the time that is spent managing the vehicles as they cross, and also the time that is spent having vehicles that should not be inland.
Bryson Chikoe is Smart Zambia Acting Director for Networks and is overseeing the implementation of this border internet connectivity program.
Here at Kazungula One-Stop Border Post, Smart Zambia is trying to interlink all the agencies. As you know, we're looking at a coordinated border management system. And for that system to be able to work, we're talking about all the agencies being able to speak as one. That can only happen if these are able to link with each other. And at that point, they'll be able to keep information in a buffer that when people are coming to the border, they'll be able to access that information as a single entity.
And authorities at Zambia Revenue Authority in Kazungula District have given their feedback on the newly launched automated gate pass.
I'd like to confirm that we since launched the automated gate pass, which is working so well so far, but just needs to heighten on the change management activities. So such initiatives as the automated gate pass go a very long way to try and expedite processing efficiency and clearance, such that if they are pre-lodged on the customs portal, it becomes very easy. It means then our trucks, as they come into the control zone here at Kazungula One-Stop Border Post, don't spend a lot of time.
Lemli Kando, reporting for Zanis in Kazungula District of Southern Province.
Solwezi Municipal Council has approved the construction of a business center, 5-star hotel and intercity bus station projects which have been pending over the years. The construction will be undertaken using the public-private partnership PPP model. The council approved the proposal that was presented by the town clerk, Mbo, during the 4th Ordinary Council meeting.
It is the 4th Ordinary Solwezi Municipal Council meeting, where various matters have been tackled, including land allocations. Solwezi Town Clerk Mbo gives his report on selected managerial issues for the decision of the council.
The management stands here to request for your authority that you worship to undertake projects using PPP partnership for construction of a business center at a land near your site, 5-star hotel at Youth Alive land, and intercity bus station at the land next to ZNS.
The proposal to use the PPP model has been consensually approved by the council.
The vision of this council is actually to update the status of this district, the status of the municipal council to the status of city. And these projects that we are talking about here will actually drive us to that status.
Meanwhile, Solwezi Mayor Remy Kalepa has this to say.
My take is on the Youth Alive. I wish to mention that the sports component should not be left out during designs or maybe developers' proposals. We should always have it in mind that we find ways and means of modernizing sports amenities on that piece of land while we develop other activities to improve what we intend to see there.
Reporting for Zanis News in Solwezi District, Jenfa Mtoshi.
Chipi Town Council has handed over modern education infrastructure to the Ministry of Education, constructed using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Luapula Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Prudence Chinama officiated at the handover ceremony.
Government has officially handed over newly constructed education infrastructure in Chipata District, built using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Handing over the infrastructures, Luapula Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Prudence Chinama said the government is committed to improving education infrastructure in the country.
Government ya Newton ile bomba na tumona kweba na school play mwenai mwaleka na ma classroom za likinga ngaide lokemfula mulero kwateja fini mwana weta amadesi nomba na yesaini imitengesha lesuma keshile suma na kabiri mwakula kana okusambira kupambire loga efyaini takuli na baticha bene bali motivated ukumona ifyo administration yabo ile moneke isuma sana. Surely for us to learn in this environment, did it have to take us 60 years? Let us give credit to the new Dawn government for increasing CDF to 30.6 million. Waone boni nguvu mchua na wakateka bale ufwe 58 tikapano.
Chipiri Member of Parliament Pochala has expressed gratitude to the government for the newly completed 1x3 classroom block and school administration block in the district.
It's up to us now to look after those infrastructure that has been constructed. I'm under PF, but it's not every time, everything that is done that I should criticize. The New Dawn government have scored.
Local officials, community leaders, students and teachers were in attendance and celebrated the milestone event.
But this time, if we go to Mwenda Primary, it is the only school with a very nice computer lab. To me, I really appreciate because I'm seeing a change, a great change in the Ministry of Education sector.
Lucy and we're reporting for Zanis News in Chipata District in Luapula Province.
Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Betty Peri has called for serious scrutiny in the selection of beneficiaries of the Constituency Development Fund CDF empowerment loans. Ms. Peri wondered how people who are well-to-do have continued to access CDF empowerment loans when it is meant for the less privileged who cannot manage to give collateral to access loans from the banks. The Deputy Permanent Secretary said this when she officiated at the handover of over 6.5 million kwacha as 2024 CDF empowerment loans for Kasama and Lukasha constituencies in Kasama District. Taonga Nkoma covered the event and gives us the report.
It's all smiles as the long wait is finally over for these people of Lukasha and Kasama Central constituencies in Kasama District. This is because these 50 groups have successfully been awarded empowerment loans under the 2024 Constituency Development Fund CDF allocation.
Previously, it was so difficult. In fact, CDF, we just heard that it was for bridges in the rural areas, what. But today, even us who are not able to access loans at CEC, we are able to access them through CDF.
Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Betty Peri, who officiated at the handover of the funds to beneficiaries, called for serious examination in the selection process.
Today, if we give you the interest that you are paying back with CDF, it's not the same as you are paying back with the bank. And these loans are meant to be paid to poor people who cannot manage to go to the bank and give collateral. And if you are giving to poor people, then we should select poor people. Let's not select Baleawa Moneka Populo Balia. We cannot be giving back when there's already money. We cannot continue empowering people who are already empowered. We leave people who are poor and we are empowering people who are already empowered. This should come to an end.
Kasama Mayor and Lukasha constituency member of parliament were also present at the event.
The 2024 Constituency Development Fund, CDF, loans have been a beacon of hope and progress.
This idea of the Zambia International Council to learn that you have established a database to track these loans, to make sure that the monies that have been allocated to the beneficiaries are going to be properly utilized.
For Zanis in Kasama, I'm Chonga Nkoma.
In agriculture news, the Ministry of Agriculture in Chonga District of Lusaka Province has handed over 11 motorbikes to support agriculture extension officers in the area. The motorbikes, which have been purchased through the Zambia Emergency Food Production Facility, were distributed to the officers during a handover ceremony officiated by District Commissioner Evans Lupia.
Ministry of Agriculture has handed over 11 motorbikes to agriculture extension officers in Chonga District who are serving in 11 agriculture camps in the area. The motorbikes, which have been purchased under the Zambia Emergency Food Production Facility, which is funded by the African Development Bank, will enable the officers to undertake their duties within their respective camps with ease. Chonga District Commissioner Dr. Evans Lupia, who handed over the motorbikes to the officers, stated that government remains committed towards making efforts to enhance agriculture services offered to farmers in the country.
After the mines, agriculture is one sector which is being looked at as a very important sector to try and turn things around from an economic point of view. So you play a very, very important role.
Dr. Lupia also implored the officers to take care of the motorbikes.
It's important that we use these motorbikes for intended purposes. Because if you don't use these motorbikes for intended purposes, in one way or the other, it will show. Take care of these assets. Make sure that you use them in such a way that you are caring. You see, anything that you use carelessly will not last you. I mean, it will not last. Anything.
Acting District Agriculture Coordinating Officer Chintu stated that the motorbikes will address the challenge of long distances covered by camp extension officers to reach farmers in the area.
We are fortunate enough to receive 11 motorbikes from the government with support from the African Development Bank. These are going to our extension officers. And our extension officers, they are working in remote and rural areas where its access to the farmers is a challenge. So the motorbikes are very handy because they are able to move and navigate in those farmers. So this is how we benefit from this. We expect to have improved extension services. Our farmers to benefit from improved extension services.
Sheila Makosa reporting for Zanis in Chonga District.
And in Southern Province, the Mazabuka Council has proposed to adjust the sugarcane charge from 30 ngwe to 100 kwacha per ton to enable the local authority increase its levy collection and respond to the demand for enhanced service delivery. However, the proposed adjustment has not settled well with sugarcane growers who have argued that the timing to increase the levy is wrong because they are currently grappling with climate change challenges. Hazela Hawanda gives us more in this report.
38 years ago, the Mazabuka local authority settled for a 30 ngwe revenue collection per ton on sugarcane, being the main economic activity in the district. This bylaw has stood since 1986 and has been outstanding, but the current economic system has forced the local authority to revisit this bylaw to maximize revenue collection for service delivery by the local authority.
It's a process which started last year. Before we even talked about the drought which has hit each and every one of us this year, and looking at the level we are moving, the rate we are moving.
Because honestly speaking, we are not going to remain on the 13 ngwe. 13 ngwe, like those 3 coins, a 10 ngwe, and another 10 ngwe, for 1,000 kilograms of cane. And for the local authority to be getting a bare minimum from this industry
is being unfair to the people who have given up their land.
Sugarcane growers and other stakeholders have been engaged to discuss the proposed 100 kwacha per ton proposal by the local authority. But this proposal has not settled well with the sugarcane growers and the Mozambican Chamber of Commerce, citing wrong timing to adjust the change.
Are you sure, Bwana President, you can talk to us the way you're talking to us, that you should move from 30 kwacha to 100? From 30 to 100. In an environment like this, we don't think so. The reality right now being a crisis, we must be. In fact, we're expecting reliefs from the authority.
There is opportunity in the future, but that opportunity is not now, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard exactly what we're discussing about. The water levels in Kafue River are the worst that they've ever been before. Let's not kid ourselves. This cane industry is in deep trouble. The future is very uncertain.
I think there needs to be looked at. There needs to be looked at in totality, and I appeal to the council to really look at it from that perspective.
But there are communities that do not live in Mazabuka that do not see very much assistance from the council, and so they turn to the farmers in their area and ask for assistance.
But the local authority maintains the proposed adjustment is required, and the local authority cannot continue collecting 13 ngwe in this era if service delivery in the community is to be achieved.
It's ridiculous to talk about 13 ngwe from 1986. We are saddened that we are undergoing a drought right now. It's of nobody's making. The same way the drought is affecting everyone else, even the local authority, we are affected badly.
The next meeting for concluding the matter has been set for 19th July 2024. Gazela Wanda, Zanis, in Mozambican District.
Now, the Rural Electrification Authority, REA, has embarked on implementing smart metering technology to monitor and manage energy consumption by its customers in areas where it is supplying electricity through the Kasanjiko mini hydropower generation plant. This came to light when REA and Energy Regulation Board ERB management and board members recently toured the hydropower generation plant in Mwinilunga district of Northwestern Province.
The quest to explore innovative and lasting solutions to the energy deficit has continued in the country. For this reason, the Rural Electrification Authority, REA, is piloting the use of smart metering technology to monitor energy usage by its customers in Chifuntambu and Chief Sailunga chiefdoms in Mwinilunga district. REA Chief Executive Officer briefs the entourage on the smart metering technology.
We have connected roughly about over 1,000 customers at the moment. Some are on three-phase, some on single-phase. And we wanted to show you the metering technology that we have because we think that it's very much applicable in the discussion at the moment as we have this drought and energy deficiency, because this smart metering has components that would have been applied on a national level.
And REA Western Regional Manager explains more on how the technology works.
So apart from the energy limit, we have a load limit. So for those that we say that 0.2 kilowatt hours a day, their load limit is 50 watts. So it means if they go beyond 50 watts, the meter cuts them off. So for those that, like households, most of them are 3,000 watts in total load. If they connect more than 3,000 watts, which is 3 kilowatts at a time, it will cut them off. Right now we have 2,000 meters that we hope in the course of this year they'll all be installed. We have another 4,000 that are coming on board. So once we have all our mini grids running, we should be sitting at above 6,000 meters installed.
Meanwhile, ERB Vice Board Chairperson says the regulation will ensure REA and ZESCO Limited share ideas and see how best smart metering technology can be harnessed.
Smart meters is something that our licensee ZESCO has proposed as a way to enhance load management. We saw from here that REA has implemented smart meters within this particular environment where they're able to control and manage the load that is used to as minute as at household level or at business level. This allows a better way of load management, and of course we are going to ensure that REA
of course, and ZESCO also sit and share notes and compare notes as ZESCO is looking at going into this aspect of smart metering.
For Zanis, in Mwinilunga District, Northwestern Province, I am Mary Ndlovu.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, Chinese Minister of Veterans Affairs, Pei Xinjiang, has today arrived in the country on a 4-day reciprocal working visit following the visit by Zambia's Tourism Minister Rodney Sikumba to China in May this year. Mr. Xinjiang was received at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport this afternoon by Tourism Permanent Secretary Evans Mohanga, who explained that Mr. Xinjiang's visit is expected to strengthen bilateral ties between Zambia and China as the two countries commemorate 60 years of bilateral relations. Here's a report. Chinese Minister of Veterans Affairs, Pei Xinjiang, has today arrived in the country on a 4-day working visit. This visit follows an invitation by Tourism Minister Rodney Sikumba when he visited China in May this year. Receiving the Minister, Tourism Permanent Secretary Evans Mohanga says this visit is very important as it strengthens bilateral ties between the two countries.
This is basically a reciprocal visit to come to visit us in Zambia. One of the iconic issues that we have to look at, of course, is the Tazara Museum, which is very historical also for the two countries. As you know, Zambia was having challenges during the colonial times to be able to get what it needed to survive from South Africa when it was actually brought there. So we had to look at basically the east side. And in Tanzania, our friends from China, basically they are the ones that built that airline for all our goods and services to come through there. So it's something that we are very, very grateful. And some of the people lost their lives, and hence the Tazara Memorial Museum that is basically near Chonga. And we'll be able to visit it. And what we want basically from the Ministry of Tourism point of view is to be able to deepen that relationship and ensure that it is treated as a pilgrimage, museum where people from China can be able to visit. So that is basically what we want. So thank you for honoring the invitation, and we just want to wish you.
And Mr. Xinjiang says he's delighted to be in the country and is hopeful that the visit will strengthen the bilateral ties between the two countries. The Veterans Minister is expected to visit the Veterans Memorial Site in Chonga and is also expected to hold bilateral talks with the Minister of Tourism as well as the Minister of Defense. Sarah Miti reporting for Zanis in Lusaka. Government has challenged traditional leaders to be beacons of peace and promote coexistence among the people in society. Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts, Elvis Nkandu, who graced this year's Mbo Traditional Ceremony of the Mambwe and Lungu people of Northern Province, also underscored the importance of traditional ceremonies in showcasing cultural diversity and promoting peaceful coexistence. Japhet Mukondia covered the event in Bala and filed in this report.
Traditional ceremonies provide an opportunity for groups to showcase their diverse cultures to the people and the nation as a whole. Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts Elvis Nkandu, who graced this year's Mbo ceremony of the Mambwe and Lungu people of Northern Province, has called on citizens to appreciate and support traditional ceremonies.
It is important for us to be attending these ceremonies because we learn a lot. We need also to learn culture. We need to learn a lot because a country which has no culture is a dead country. I think it's a dead country. So every one of us will partake in the issue of this important issue of culture. Yeah,
The minister also thanked the sponsors of this year's Mtomolo ceremony for making it a success.
Make everything happen. So it is important that the corporate, the private sector are also involved. And I'm very excited that the private sector companies are able to also contribute to the colorfulness of this important ceremony.
The sponsors of the Mtomolo ceremony had this to say.
Very glad to partner with the Maluka, which is the Mambalungu Cultural Association, in supporting and sponsoring the Mtomolo Traditional Ceremony. We are very happy, the Royal Highnesses are very happy, the government is very happy, and the farmers are very happy. So as City of Zambia will continue supporting the traditional ceremonies throughout the country.
And traditional leaders thanked government for the support it is rendering to traditional leaders.
And thank you to Mr. President. You can share that to the President that we are very grateful that he has considered all the Royal Highnesses in Zambia to get the inputs, the farming inputs. And once again, we are saying welcome.
Meanwhile, people who attended this year's Mtomolo traditional ceremony had this to say.
Important to us youths, because we learn the culture of our forefathers and elders. We learn a lot.
Reporting for Zanis in Zambia District, I'm Jafet Munkondia.
Veteran freedom fighter Betty Chilunga has challenged Zambians to remain united amidst various challenges currently being faced in the country in order to shape a brighter future for generations to come. Ms. Chilunga says as Zambia celebrates its 60th independence anniversary this year, every citizen must be an agent of peace and stability, which have made the nation a beacon to the world. She was speaking last night when she graced the unveiling of the KK at 100 anthology titled Centennial Reflections, celebrating the life and legacy of Kenneth Kaunda, held at Lusaka's National Museum under the theme KK, a model for national values, one Zambia, one nation. Ms. Chilunga said the anthology is testimony to the enduring legacy of Zambia's late first president and stands as a reminder of the unifying principles and values that he so tirelessly championed in his life. Speaking at the same event, National Museum's Board Museum Development Officer Terry Nyambe, who spoke on behalf of his Director General, George Mudenda, says Dr. Kaunda will continue to be remembered not only through stories, but also through exhibitions and books for posterity.
I worked closely with our leader, President Kaunda, who was really a patriotic leader, a visionary leader, a leader who had love for Zambia. As we unveil the anthology, let us rededicate ourselves to the ideals of patriotism, democracy, human dignity, equality, and social justice. Let us stand together, shoulder to shoulder, as we navigate the challenges of our time and shape a brighter future for generations to come. As we celebrate Zambia's 60th anniversary of independence, we must all be agents of the peace and stability that have made our nation a beacon of peace to the whole world.
It is truly humbling to witness the outpouring of love, respect, and admiration that our father's memory has evoked.
One way of remembering KK is not only telling the story as we are telling, but is to tell the story through exhibitions like we are experiencing and seeing in our building today. But we want to go further also to put this story in the books, not only for us, but for posterity, for our children, our children's children.
A research team from the University of Zambia, Yunza, in partnership with the Ministry of Health, has urged men who are on the tuberculosis TB treatment and those on the antiretroviral treatment, ART, to refrain from drug abuse. Yunza researcher under the Department of Public Health, Cosmos Jambo, says the research conducted by the team revealed that most people especially men who are on ART, either discontinue taking their medication or do not take it on time, resulting into antimicrobial resistance. We have details in the following report.
Drug default in most people living with different health conditions has posed a threat to many lives, especially to those on the tuberculosis and antiretroviral treatment. This is why a team from the University of Zambia and the Ministry of Health conducted a research and had the following findings.
We are in Chipata disseminating results. So these are results which are based on the research that was conducted by University of Zambia in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. This was sponsored by the Global Fund. We have observed that we have so many cases where patients are not being treated, even if they are on drugs, but we find that these individuals are not getting treated, they are not getting cured. So basically, we have observed that this is happening too much in the males, and even in Chipata. Since I'm in Chipata, let me talk about Chipata, where we have about 8 cases. Those are the ones that we had in our study. So those 8 cases, we find that all those 8, they were males, and we didn't have any female.
Men, they're actually smoking more than women. Women, they're also smoking, but not so much. Why? Because traditionally, in terms of culture, women, there are few women who smoke a cigarette like this, because of the culture. However, we noted that Sunko, Sunko, which is smokeless tobacco, women are actually using more of the Sunko as compared to men. So when we come to alcohol consumption, more 71% of the men are consuming alcohol.
In Chipata District Acting Health Director, who officiated at the event, Dr. Jairus Mulambia, has advised citizens in the district to safeguard their lives.
There is so much that we still do not know. And so through the research, this evidence comes up, and basically it helps us, first and foremost, to plan our services, and also secondly, how we can be able to prevent ourselves from contracting these diseases. And as you all know, these diseases do not choose gender, they do not choose whether you are young or whether you are old, and also they do not choose whether you work in the government offices or you work in the markets.
According to the Ministry of Health, 1.3 million people are living with HIV and AIDS countrywide. It is therefore important for patients to adhere to the medical prescription in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle and eliminate the spread of HIV pandemic by 2030. Password Dimbani, Zanis News in Chipata District.
Now, Chavoma College of Nursing and Midwifery is operating without an accountant since its inception in 2019. Head of college, Chiaze Nyonge, has called upon government to expedite the sourcing of an accountant who can professionally handle the issues of finances which the school has been struggling with. Mr. Nyonge said this when Area Member of Parliament Victor Lumai visited the area to appreciate their challenges.
This is Chavoma College of Nursing and Midwifery, established more than 4 years ago to allow local youths access tertiary education. However, the college with 500 students has a number of challenges, among them lack of an accountant.
Honorable Member of Parliament, as Chavoma College of Nursing, we have some challenges that we would want to bring to your attention. The first is the staffing establishment. As we are speaking right now, Chavoma College of Nursing does not have an accountant. This has become a very big challenge as a college. So may you expedite the sourcing of an accountant for the college.
The students have also their own challenges.
Honorable Member, 90% of these students that you are seeing are coming from vulnerable families, making it difficult to pay their school fees. Going by this, we request through your office if Chavoma College of Nursing and Midwifery can be considered for sponsorship under CDF. as we have heard that it's happening to other constituencies.
Area Member of Parliament Victor Lumai assures the students of government support.
With the support of His Excellency, President Hakainde Hichilema, the support from our strong able minister, Suvia Masevo, we are going to achieve everything. From what you have presented before me, other things I can do at my individual level, other things I need, the strong arm of government. And what I'll do quickly, I am going to invite Minister Masevo, Director Infrastructure in the Ministry of Health, and the Permanent Secretary, so that we can come to Chavuma and look at the welfare of our nursing college.
Reporting for Zanis News, I am Chebunkoma in Chavuma District, Northwestern Province.
And lastly in the news, civic leaders and senior government officials who attended the leadership training workshop on decentralization in Chipata District took time to take cholera vaccines to help fight the pandemic in the district. Acting Chipata District Health Director Jairus Mulambia says the move taken by civic leaders and government officials to take the vaccine openly is aimed at encouraging the public to do the same.
In a show of solidarity at the ongoing cholera vaccination exercise, civic leaders and senior government officials from 15 districts in Eastern Province attending the leadership training on decentralization in Chipata have thrown their weight behind the Minister of Health by taking the cholera vaccine. The decision by the civic leaders and senior government officials to take the cholera vaccine openly is aimed at showing the public that the cholera vaccine is safe and can be taken for cholera prevention.
As a leader, I should set an example so that people out there can know to say, I think the vaccine is safe.
Not fear, these things are safe. As your leaders taken, what about you?
We are appealing to the general public to take precautions and ensure they protect themselves by allowing the health personnel to give them these vaccines against cholera. You know, the benefits of them getting this vaccine is that they will be protected for a longer period, and when they are protected, that's what we want to see. We'll have a productive nation.
The Minister of Health is targeting to vaccinate over 300,000 people in the ongoing cholera vaccination exercise in Chipata District.
The target is to vaccinate over 300,000 people who are in Chipata, and so we call upon all the residents 1 year and above to be able to come and access this vaccine. So basically we are providing this vaccine from our clinics. We have also set up some points in the community. So you are all very, very welcome.
Members of the public have since been urged to emulate the civic leaders and senior government officials by taking the cholera vaccine before the vaccination exercise ends on the 30th of June 2024. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makodza.
We end the news on that item, but before we go, hear the headlines once again. Mozambican President Nyusi graces Trade Fair. Smart Zambia connects Kazungula to internet. 6.5 million kwacha dispersed to cooperatives in Kasama. And veteran freedom fighter advises Zambians to remain united. That is all we had for you on this edition of Zanis News. Thank you so much for joining us. From me and from the entire production team, it is goodbye and God bless.